over 100,000 signatories have supported calls for Stellenbosch University to expel the student in question. Let's speak to the person who started the petition, Anke Spies, who is an anti-racism activist at and also a Stellenbosch University student. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me, Anke. So I keep looking at the petition that you started, and I see the numbers are just, they just keep going up. I mean, we're mentioning 100,000 in the hour that I've been here. 2,000 more people have signed it, taking it to about 102,000. Just tell me about why you felt it is important to take to press the university to take a step further, not just suspend, but actually expel Theuns du Toit.
I started the petition after hearing that the perpetrator will only be suspended, sorry. And I thought that's totally unacceptable considering what he did, especially being a law student. He is a law student as well. We spent a whole term learning about the Constitution and human rights, and I thought a person that can so blatantly violate someone's human rights in university after learning about it for a whole term shouldn't be allowed to stay at the institution and continue his education. I thought it's totally unfair, and I didn't think suspension was justice enough, considering what he did was a crime. So I thought a petition was probably the best way to go about doing something to try to gain support.
Do you have any sympathy, Anke, to arguments that say, we can't just expel him. We need to do due process and investigate and come to a finding, and only then do we then say that he's dismissed from the university. Also, given that the university has also foregrounded the possibility of a dismissal at a later stage, or do you believe that this incident is so egregious that there should be action right now in the form of an expulsion?
So what they're doing with the investigation, it's disciplinary action, so he will have a hearing at the university. But I do believe expulsion should be the only course taken. I don't think it will be fair to anyone if he's not expelled. So as long as the disciplinary hearing goes according to procedure, I think he should be expelled.
Yeah.
And also the family that's taking criminal action, I think that's the right thing to do as well.
And Anke, the expulsion that you are calling for, I don't imagine that you believe that it will solve all the issues that are now coming to the fore, but do you believe that it's an important first step? And if so, what are some of the other steps then that should follow to try and address issues of race relations, racism, intolerance at Stellies?
I think the expulsion is very important, not just because it is justice for this one crime that happened, but it's a representation of the university actually taking action for all the racial injustice that has happened in the past. I mean, this does not solve every single issue, but by expelling this perpetrator, the university is saying, no, we will not be accepting racism like this anymore. And in the past, I think I don't think it was done. I think it was very easy for this institution to ignore what was going on. So expulsion, it's a representation of what is needed to be done in the future. And I hope this will actually show people, this is the consequence. And I hope it also shows a lot more people that Stellenbosch is, however slow it might be, is moving in the right direction for trying to address these injustices.
Yeah. And lastly then, Anke, how important is it that Stellenbosch is holistic in its addressing of this particular incident, and that it doesn't limit it to the incident and the other incidents that are now being reported, including the one that we are told happened at the law faculty dance that was held? How important is it that the university is holistic? And I'll tell you why I'm asking. I was listening to a conversation on 702 with Clement Manyatela and Terry Oakley-Smith, who says that the university doesn't even have an anti-racism policy. So, you know, in her listening to what Stellenbosch has been saying, characterizing this incident as an incident of harassment, as opposed to calling it racism and addressing it in line with a specific anti-racism policy.
Yes, I do believe it's very important to address everything that's going on in Stellenbosch, and the only way to do that is to continue being vocal. So even after this petition has gained so much success, we can't stop fighting. So with everything going on, we need to speak about it. We need to spread awareness on social media. We need to contact admin, the correct authorities, of course. And Stellenbosch, they need to be held accountable for what is going on. It's a whole institution that is that's making it possible for problems like these to arise because of the environment that's normalized. So I think as students especially, we need to just continue holding the institution accountable, and we need to keep pressing for reform, for changes, and for these things to be properly addressed. And I don't think it's acceptable for it to be swept under the rug anymore. I know there are a lot of people, students are, I'm a first year, and already I am so angry by what is going on campus. And I think as students, you know, it has come to a boiling point. I think a lot of us, especially the seniors, has had enough. So I think it is coming to the point where, as a student body, we are holding the institution accountable, and that's the only way that things will change.
Yeah. All right, I've got to thank you for your time and sharing your views with me here on eNCA. That's Anke Spies, who is an anti-racism activist and Stellenbosch University student there, weighing in on the incident of racism at the institution, and also just of the other incidents that are coming to the fore and being reported. Her petition on change.org is now at 102,522 signatures. The target is to get it, according to this, they are trying to get it to 150,000 signatures, and they're saying that that would make it one of the top signed petitions on that particular campaign.